ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Questions? I heard emotion is involvement. So many gadgets, I'm not even able to read what is written there. I'm double at the real. I don't know why it is showing double. I'm not even able to understand it. Yeah, I'm not able to.
Can you make it bigger?
I heard emotion is
No,
involvement.
two screens are there for everyone. I don't know why two screens are coming parallelly.
Actually, you need to unpin.
I'm seeing you, I'm not seeing the question. And I don't want to see you, no. Okay, something has changed. Questions by Amit. I heard emotion is involvement. Emotion comes in the way of objectivity. However, emotion gives motivation to do the right thing. Motivation for dharma comes from emotion. The same reason you used to support dharma, you could also reason to demolish it. Question. Please explain the statement. Motivation for dharma comes from emotion. When objectivity is obstructed by emotions, how can the same tool be the motivation to live dharmically? Emotion comes in the way of objectivity. However, emotion gives motivation to do the right thing. What does this mean? Amit. Objectivity means your emotions are guided, regulated. Objectivity doesn't mean emotions are dried up. Objectivity doesn't mean emotions are dried up. Objectivity doesn't mean you become like a robot. That is not objectivity. If that is objectivity, why do you even want to become objective? Why do you even want to become objective? Therefore, objectivity doesn't mean drying up of emotions. Objectivity means the capacity to look at the situation rightly. Okay. What makes you not understand the situation rightly? That emotions take over, for which objectivity is necessary. See, something a human being is doing for which we are saying objectivity is necessary. What is it that the human being is doing that objectivity becomes necessary? Human being is doing one thing. What? Uncontrolled likes and dislikes expresses itself as uncontrollable emotions. Uncontrolled likes and dislikes will express itself as uncontrollable emotions. So objectivity is required because the likes and dislikes are not controlled. When likes and dislikes are not controlled, emotions will not be under control. That's why most of the objectivity methods that the world talks about doesn't work at all in the long run. Why? They are doing patchwork of dealing with the emotions, but not the underlying likes and dislikes at the root of that emotion. Are you okay till now, everyone? The root is that. So the uncontrollable likes and dislikes makes the emotions go out of control. Okay. Now comes the crux of the problem. When likes and dislikes is not under your control, when the emotions are not under your control, the natural tendency will be to go extrovert. Extroversion will be the natural tendency. In extroversion, fault will be found. Extroversion means the fault is always with the other. Are you able to understand the sequence now? Again, I repeat. I'll repeat it again. Looks like common sense, but it's not. Looks like common sense, but it's not. You follow? Objectivity is required because of what? We are not able to control our emotions. Not able to control our emotions means not having control over our extroversion. Not having control over our extroversion. Okay. What is it meant when we say we don't have control over our extroversion? Extroverted nature, uncontrolled extroversion will make it impossible for you to investigate into your weaknesses and take corrective measures. It's impossible to convince oneself that it is my weakness. It is very difficult to convince yourself that it's your weakness. Impossible to do that. Therefore, we say objectivity. What does objectivity means now? It's not dried up emotions. It is not falling a victim to extroversion, not falling a victim to extroversion, not falling a victim to likes and dislikes. Are you able to follow what is objectivity means now? Most of the time what happens is we are a victim of the likes and dislikes. Victim of likes and dislikes will express itself as what? As uncontrolled expressions, emotions. Those uncontrolled emotions further grossifies as extroversion. Further grossifies as extroversion. Therefore, Vedantic method is turn introvert, turn introvert, turn introvert. Introvert, not in the dictionary meaning of the word introversion now. Introvert here has a special meaning. What is the special meaning that we give to the word introversion here? Because if you look at the English dictionary, introvert and extrovert, it's exactly the opposite meaning. Introvert means you have a psychological. Introvert means one who has a psychological problem. Extrovert means who is dynamic and efficient. Now we are giving the ulta meaning here. That's all. Not that we are giving the ulta meaning. The meaning changed now. English language meaning keeps changing every few decades. You know that? That's why very difficult is to communicate through this thing, because the meanings keep changing. 100 years back, if you bring an English person and ask him to describe a beautiful scenery that he sees, he will say or she will say, awful. If you say awful today, what does it mean? If you say awful today, what does that awful means today? Ugly. 100 years back, awful means beautiful, extraordinary. How would you even understand that? Able to follow? Therefore, we have to give injecting the what do we mean? What do we mean? Therefore, what does objectivity means? Objectivity means this. Objectivity means the ability to avoid the natural weaknesses of avoiding the natural weakness of being an extrovert. Objectivity means avoiding the natural weakness of being an extrovert. Naturally, how it will be? Naturally, how it will be? We tend to be extrovert. And our extroversion will also look very legitimate, isn't it? Introversion comes, the introversion changes. Therefore, objectivity means a set of emotion you are not falling a victim to. What is that a set of emotion that you are not falling a victim to? The emotion that makes you extrovert. And what is extroversion means? Extroversion means, can anybody define extroversion in the flow of what I am talking now? I need a water break. Hmm? You are right, the others are wrong. Yes.
Blaming the other for my circumstances.
Blaming the other for one's circumstances. Sriram, you are right to Sonada I like, because you means I know. Yes, I like Sriram today. He said, you are right, others are wrong. That is correct. Obviously. Sriram, correctly you said one thing. Extroversion means the faults of others always magnify. Extroversion means imperfections of others gets magnified. Objectivity means what now? What is objectivity? You are not turning blind to the fault of the other. You are not magnifying it. You are seeing it in the larger picture. You are seeing it as part of the package. Instead of magnifying it and seeing it as though that is the only aspect of the personality, you are able to see it as part of the package. If you are able to see it as part of the package, that is called objectivity. Amit, are you able to follow now? This is called objectivity. So what is extroversion means? You need to have a clarity on what is extroversion means. Extroversion means the faults of others. The faults of others are always magnified. We used to say, when we did the 3-year course, books that's not the first lesson. When we did the course, the very first lesson is the poem Turkey and the Ant. I said, we don't outgrow that poem at all, I'll say. We'll be studying Bhagavad Gita, we'll be studying Upanishads, we'll be studying Vedanta treatises, all books we'll be studying, passing, teaching, but one exam we will not pass. What? Turkey and the Ant itself we cannot outgrow. You know that? That's a very first poem in the... Correct? Poems book I think, I'm sure, that's the first poem. The turkey and the ant. Objectivity tells you what is it? What is extroversion? The faults of the others are always magnified. Objectivity is clipping the magnification and seeing it as part of the package. If you understand it as part of the package, then you have a choice. What is the choice you have? You accept that person, that package will be there. Correct? It becomes very easy now. It becomes joy and fun and love now. If you accept that person, package becomes part of that person. You can't say, eliminate that, then I will accept it. You can't say that. It's like saying, cut your nose and your left leg, then I will It's a package. If I have to accept that package, I have to accept the, I have to accept that package only, isn't it? My marriage was an arranged marriage. I don't know what, who arranged it. I don't know what arrangement is happening. I don't know. It's arranged marriage. And I turned gray at 18 itself. I turned gray. Sriram. I used to be like that when I was 18, 19. In my memory, I have never seen black hair in him. 18, 19, I'm gray. So, everybody know color. I say, no, I'll go like that. Part of the package, what to do. Yeah, part of the package, what to do. And we are vicious also, no. We are wicked and vicious also, isn't it? Know how to cover it up. Make the person don't see above the forehead. Who's the goat that got caught? One goat got caught. Yeah, Amit. One goat got caught, and that's my wife. And she's also sitting here. You can see. Yeah. She got caught. Marriage is fixed. Everything is done. And then her father came and said, we need to go shopping. I want to buy you some gift. We must go. I said, okay, we'll go. She said, okay, we'll go. So we were in the car. Ranjini sitting behind me in the car. She was dusting my hair. Ask her, dusting. I knew what she was doing. I turned back and said, what are you doing? No, lot of dust is there. I said, dust illamadu, white hair, I said. It's not dust, it's white hair. And in 10 days and all, you don't get white hair like that. Huh? It is there, it's there for. Oh, no. Then I told her, see, I came like that. You didn't see, it's your. I didn't pretend, I came like that. Yeah. Even though you should ask that. No, I will describe. No, you should see that scene. You saw that I am not responsible now. Number two, there is no going back and on now. Yeah, no way that you are going. There's no going back. It's done and prarabdha is sealed. Started now. What do we do? Are you able to follow? If you are objective, you will be able to accept the package. And when you accept the package, you will not have a problem. That's what objectivity is all about. Are you able to understand what is objectivity means? Objectivity means you will be able to accept the package. You will be able to accept the package because you are not able to, you have stopped magnifying the faults. You have stopped magnifying the faults. Do that. When you stop magnifying the faults, it becomes, that is called objectivity. What emotions goes out? No emotions will go out. In fact, genuine emotions will come only, genuine, meaningful emotions will come out only when you are objective, because you are able to accept the package and you don't have any hatred. No dvesha. This is answering the first clarification. Amit, you follow? Next one. Objectivity is impartial observation guided by Shastra. Shastra is impartial and objective. Question. Is it redundant to say objectivity is an impartial observation guided by Shastra? Would it be more appropriate to say objectivity is observation guided by Shastra? I heard the way to be objective is not to judge, but to understand. The formula is not judge and have gratitude. Correct. Objectivity is observation guided by Shastra. You can say that. I added the word because he's having a problem with the word impartial. So he's correcting me. I said, keep it. Doesn't matter. Amit. Yeah, keep it. Doesn't matter. If that word is having a problem, remove that word. Doesn't matter. As long as observation is, as long as observation is done. How that observation must be? Why do we add adjective impartial to it? I can observe partially also. I can observe partially, I can observe impartially. What is partially observing? What is partial observation means? Whatsoever happens in this planet, either it's for me or against me. Yeah, that is partial observation. Whatsoever happens in this planet, people will say it is for me or against me. What a self-obsession it is, isn't it? It is self-obsession, isn't it? Everyone is so obsessed with oneself as though the planet is worried only about me. In the totality, we don't even exist. Yeah. இன்னைக்கு செத்தா நாளைக்கு finished. That's all life is. Clear. Today you die, tomorrow life moves on. Clear. Oh, he passed away. Yeah. Okay. Body எப்போ எடுப்பாங்க? That's all life is. It is an impartial observation. Doesn't mean emotion has gone, love has gone. The capacity to accept it as, the capacity to accept the fact as a fact is what is called impartial observation. Supposing when you use the word observation, impartiality, you are implying in that, keep it. But most of the time when we use the word observation, impartial is not implied. For we all observe, partial observe. Partial means partial to oneself. Partial to oneself. I used to give this example. Any number of times I'm giving the same example. One of my old aunts always has this problem. She thinks when she decides to dry sun dry, rains will come. In the month of May, she will want to sun dry something. Immediately, rains will come. Enga Madras. Where is it going to come? But then so self-obsessed. So impartial observation guided by Shastra. The formula is clear. What is the formula? What is the formula? Every package you have to be grateful towards. Gratitude is towards each and every package that you are encountering on an everyday basis. Gratitude is necessary. Why? Because they are helping me in some way or the other. So gratitude is a formula. Third one. The way to assess someone you explained the way to assess someone and ourselves is to understand their gunas. Please talk about Desha, Kala, Patra and Yuga as it relates to assessing someone and ourselves. Amit. Please talk about Desha, Kala, Patra. If the context comes, we will talk about it. Generally, I cannot say. Generally, we cannot talk about it. In the context, there will be some context that is coming later. When the context comes, we will talk about it. Otherwise, what will happen? The class will be like the class will become like a newspaper. We will not be following a pattern or a text. So Desha, Kala, Patra, Yuga, all that we should take into consideration to assess. In the context, I will talk about it, not now. You follow? Yeah. For all practical purposes, guna itself is more than enough. Deshakala Patra and all are minor details. Actually, minor details doesn't really, non-detail madri adu. You know, when we study, we have a major course book and then we have something like non-detailed. Non-detailed, it's not one paragraph, it's one book. What do they mean by non-detailed? Exam ko varadadu. Yeah, it will not come for exams question paper either. So if you want to know some more, you can read that. So Deshakala Patra is something like that, which we will definitely address. Which will definitely address when the context comes. Right now, we are restricting it to the gunas. Because that itself is a big, that itself is takes 80% of the problem takes care of what? At our level. Anything else?
No, sir.
Unmute Ranjini, she has a clarification. Put the hand mark, correct. Yes. Yes.
Is it heard?
Yes.
I have two questions. The first one is last class you said that if you have to disassociate with a person,
Yes.
then that person either has to be a rapist or a terrorist. But we are talking of predominant.
Yes.
So predominantly, we do not find such characters in any family.
Correct.
It is there, but it is not predominant.
Yes.
So I believe it becomes an extreme example.
Correct.
So my question is, what is the nature that will require somebody to disassociate with a person in the family? Because generally you are not supposed to disassociate. You say that you have to stay put and bear that person because it is for the purpose of Chitta Shuddhi. That's what you are saying.
Correct.
So what is the nature that calls for disassociation? You don't have to be a rapist or a terrorist, but still disassociation is required. What does it mean then?
Yes. In the family, under what circumstances we will disassociate? Under what circumstances we will disassociate? The one and only circumstance where disassociation can be considered is when there is an interference to your growth. When somebody comes and tells you that you should not do that which is required for your spiritual growth. If someone is directly interfering with your spiritual path, at that point of time only, we will consider disassociating. And that disassociation also will happen only after through the Samadhana Bheda Danda. Even there, disassociation will not happen straight away. Even there, disassociation will take a long period of time to finalize. Under only one circumstance, disassociation can be considered. What? If they are dussang. Sassangatve nissangatvam. Dussang has to be avoided. Perfectly correct. How do we know that this person is a dussang? When materialism and sensuality is, when materialism and sensuality and selfishness is promoted as the right thing to do. If selfishness, if selfishness and materialism is promoted as the right thing to do, then we have to consider disassociating gradually. Again, carefully follow. Disassociating gradually. Only if there is an interference with in your path. There is only one condition under which disassociation is considered. What is that condition? They are an interference to your spiritual growth. Now, how do you know that they are interference to your spiritual growth? You wake up at 5 o'clock and study when they say, no, you should not do that. Then it is an interference. Are you able to follow? You wake up at study at 5 o'clock and when they interfere and say, don't do that, then it is a hindrance. Supposing you wake up at 5 o'clock and study and the other person wakes up only at 10 o'clock. It's a conducive environment. As far as you are concerned. Why? Because you get extra 4 hours. Are you able to follow? Are you able to follow? That's how it works. So when do you actually, when do you have to actually consider disassociating? Only when that person becomes a direct hindrance. I am worshipping Krishna, sir, but my husband is worshipping Shiva. That is not a hindrance? Are you able to follow? That is not a hindrance. So what is hindrance to your growth means? The time that you give for your growth is seen as, if it is interfered and said you should not do that. Are you able to follow? Then you have to consider disassociating. How do you get this formula? From where do you derive this formula? Some basis has to be there for this formula. No, it's not my opinion. How do you, from where do you get this formula? If Guru comes and stands between you and the truth, get rid of the Guru like Mahabali did. If your husband stands in between you and the truth, get rid of the husband like Meera did. If your brothers and your wife stand in between you and the truth, get rid of the brothers and the wife like, who did that? Yudhishthira did. Are you able to follow? Most of the time, they will not interfere. They will only say, leave me alone. Don't drag me into this. Are you able to follow? Family members will only say what? Don't drag me into this. You find it useful. You find it impressive. You find it interesting. Vaita, you go, you come back. You don't go and torture me to come. Second mistake. What all you hear there, don't come and, what all you hear there, don't come and offload it on me. As long as you are not doing that, the reason for dissociation will not arise at all. Are you able to follow? Rest of the hatred that we have is always about certain personality traits. Other than this, there are other areas where we'll have difficulty with others, which are all personality traits. Now, we don't disassociate because of a personality trait. We disassociate only because they directly interfere. Supposing you do puja, you want to do puja. And if the other person says, no, you are not allowed to do puja, no, you have to say, get lost, I will do puja. Are you able to follow? Only when there is a direct interference with your spiritual practices, we will consider disassociating. When we got into this, me and Ishwar and my brother, my parents were very worried. They were extremely worried. I think they are still worried. They're still worried. Worried to death, I can say. Not that we are doing anything wrong or they don't want us to do. They are worried about what? How they will survive in life. So they are worried more about our welfare rather than the interfering in the spiritual path. Now, if I don't understand them rightly, I will misunderstand that they are interfering. They are not interfering. They are concerned about my welfare, which is a parental concern. Now, what I need to do there? I just need to, I cannot see them as a hindrance, but I have to accept them as part of the parental thing. Are you able to follow? I'm giving my own example. They are not interfering. Now, they never said don't go on. They never said don't go and study. Their concern is what? Future and now. Future and now. Just as everybody is worried. No. All the parents here are worried. Similarly, my dad and mom was also worried, which is not a hindrance to the spiritual path. Supposing if my mom or dad said, no, idalla You should not. These are all wrong things to do in life. Right thing is to only do this. Now, then I have to consider disassociating. Are you able to follow the difference now? Under what? There has to be only one thumb rule. Rest of the problems that I have is personality trait. Personality traits has to be accepted. Package அது அவ்வளவுதான் package அது. Personality trait is a package. It's very simple. Just as I am accepting the package of somebody, I'll be grateful because somebody is accepting my package. I am also a package. Correct? Angada introversion starts. Just as I am also a package, somebody is accepting me. Obviously, what I should do in return? Follow the same principle. That's all it means. But then, as I always keep saying, the problem of extroversion, which is what I explained to Amit also. The problem of extroversion will magnify the personality trait of others, and that looks so big that it looks like a hindrance. No, that's not a hindrance. That's not a hindrance. You follow the answer? That's not a hindrance. So the only qualification is they should directly tell you, choose me or God. Either me or God. I tell you, 95% of the humanity don't have courage to say that. Only Hiranyakashipu can come and tell you that. Rest and all will say, you go, you're right, enna utrungo, they will say. Are you able to follow? You do it, but just don't drag me, just leave me alone. You do what you want. That is acceptable. No, that is perfectly legitimate. That is perfectly acceptable. Personality trait differs. Why do we have to be careful about this? Is because you will have a problem with the guru also at some point of time, because we will see personality traits in the guru also, which is unacceptable. Therefore, what do we do? From the beginning only we understand. What is that understanding? I will not get carried away by the personality trait. I will not get carried away by the personality trait. If it is an interference, then I will disassociate. Are you able to follow? Next clarification. You said 2, no?
Yeah, 2.
Yes. Second one.
Second one is, you said that every human being is a package and every being has to put up with each other, as in practicing titiksha.
Yes.
So my question is, you're saying it is for spiritual growth, and spiritual growth is chitta shuddhi. How putting up with a person's nature which is unpleasant to me is going to bring out chitta shuddhi in me, because I am seeing something else.
Yes, correct.
I'm not seeing what Shastra is asking me to see. So to develop that maturity of what Shastra is asking me to see, how will I get that?
Yes, correct. Now, her question is, how is practicing titiksha, putting up with the personality traits of others, connected to chitta shuddhi? That's all the question is, correct? How is putting up with the personality trait of others being a chitta shuddhi? Because the personality trait of the other is so agitating. So agitating, it's so frustrating. And how that will give me chitta shuddhi? You keep saying that, put up, put up, put up. It is not possible at all. Nor it's not an advisable thing also to do, no? Because it's causing so much of agitation to me. Why do that? Answer. It's a universal problem of introversion. The question that you are asking is the universal human problem of introversion. Introversion means what? What is introversion? I said it just now. In answering Tomit's question, I said introversion means the the ability to investigate, the conditionings and weaknesses of oneself. Are you able to follow? Introversion means the ability to investigate into the conditionings and weaknesses of oneself. It's not your unique problem. It's a universal problem. Why do you have to recognize your inner weakness? Why do you have to turn introvert and investigate into your weaknesses and conditioning? Only when you turn introvert and recognize your weaknesses and conditioning, you will be able to remove that layer and go deeper and see who you are in real. Are you able to follow the sequence? Then only you will be able to understand who you are in real. Who are you in reality? The scripture says that. It has told us very clearly, who are you? What you think you are not that. And you don't know who? You don't know who you are, but you think you are that, and you are not. You are not that. How do we even accept it? How do we even understand that? Introversion helps. Now, how does introversion helps? This is how it helps. And to develop this introversion, there is a time factor. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen just by listening to lectures or repeatedly listening to lectures. It's not going to happen. Therefore, there is a time gap between your extroversion and your introversion. In between, in the time gap, when there is discomfort around you, one method is to run away. Another method is titiksha. Why do we say titiksha? Because when you are running away, you have to come back and pay 3 times, 4 times the price of gratitude. That's how the law works. When you run away, you have to come back and pay the price multiple times. Why? Why multiple times? In between also you are continuously taking and you are not even aware of it. Are you able to follow? You are continuously taking and you are not even aware of it. On top of it, the factor that is benefiting you, you have started to disregard. Are you able to follow? Therefore, titiksha is a benefit. What is the benefit? At least your gratitude continues. Titiksha is because of what? Titiksha is because of what I have. Titiksha is because I have received in some form or the other, directly or indirectly. Me being the recipient have to be grateful. Not being grateful as in just the word gratitude. Not being grateful as in the word gratitude. Being actually grateful means showing it in action. When gratitude is not expressed in action, it's not gratitude. Again, gratitude must be expressed in action. If it is not expressed in action, then it's not gratitude at all. Therefore, in titiksha, what are you doing? In titiksha, what are you doing? You are continuing to serve, irrespective of certain aspects of the personality trait, which is uncomfortable, which is unpleasant to you. Are you able to follow till now how Chitta Shuddhi works? This is how Chitta Shuddhi happens. In order to practice this titiksha and gratitude, you need knowledge. What is the knowledge? Knowledge is required. What is the knowledge? The knowledge that keeps drilling it in, that at any given point of time, remember, what you have taken is much, much more than what you have received. Sorry, given back. At any given point of time, what you have given back is much, much more than what you have received. Like, for example, okay, why do we talk about parents as it's not an emotional, sentimental attachment, parent. What is it in the parent? What is it in the parent that we have to be grateful? What is it in the parent that you have to be grateful? Very simple. You will not be comfortable with your own dirt. They were comfortable with your dirt and they cleaned it up. Full stop. That's all. Are you able to follow? We will not be comfortable with our own dirt. Correct? Mala. Dirt here means mala. We are not comfortable with our own dirt. We don't even want to see it. We don't even want to look at it. But who did that? Who cleaned it? Who cleaned it? And when they cleaned it, with what amount of joy and affection and love they did it. Are you able to follow? To that I will be grateful. Yeah, that's why that one of the beautiful hymns, Matru Shodasi, they say. 16 hymns to mother. 16 hymns to mother. Sanskrit Matru Shodasi. Literally, Patnatar has a Tamil version of it. Sanskrit Ladurg, Patnatar, the Tamil saint, has a literal Tamil version of it. Oh my God. Much more beautiful than Matru Shodasi, because Matru Shodasi, we don't have that language affinity. What a thing he says there. Now, when he lists out, in that list, you understand how grateful you have to be, irrespective of how much ever you have given back to them. Number one. Number two, irrespective of certain personality traits in your own parents that you will not like, you will not accept. Are you able to follow now? See, there are certain personality traits which I may not even appreciate. That doesn't really matter. I keep it aside. Why do I have to keep it aside? That's my gratitude. Are you able to follow now? Take that example with everybody now. Everybody is helping me in some form or the other. Because when I came into life, I never put this condition. What is the condition? I want only the purest enlightened souls to clean me up. Did I say that? Whoever cooks food, I ate, no. At that time, I didn't ask. Now that I have gotten a few things and my ego is becoming strong, now I'm starting to put conditions. How selfish it is. Correct? How selfish it is. Are you able to follow? Huh? Vijay, Purida solradhu, how selfish it is. Or I should have put that condition before only. What I should have put the condition? Before I take anything from you, I will look into your character. Only if your character, if all your personality traits are agreeable to me, I will take. Do I do that? I don't do that. Then I have no right to do. Then I have no right to judge anybody after that. Now, if you see it from this angle, will there be any necessity to disassociate from anybody? Unless extreme cases happens. What is the extreme case? What is the extreme case? Like a terrorist or a rapist. Anga kuda, even in that case, how does a spiritual person will behave? Like a Prahlada. Anga kuda, we will not disassociate. Like Prahlada, we will pray for Prahlada did that? No. Narsimha came and killed Hiranyakashipu. Was it a punishment or is it saving him? Narsimha came and killed Hiranyakashipu. Was it destructive or was it beneficial? Answer is beneficial. Answer is beneficial only. Other doubt take it. Answer is beneficial only. In Ramayana, a beautiful scene. In Chitrakoot, they are there. They found out that Rama and Sita and Lakshmana is there. The whole family comes to see. All the mothers also come. Kaikeyi, Sumitra, and Kaushalya. And he saw the mothers, whom Rama go and hugged first. Kaikeyi. What a character it is. What a strength it is. Are you able to follow? He went and hugged. He went and hugged Kaikeyi and prostrated. Said to her. She said, why are you doing this? Rama said, Bharata is taking care of Kaushalya. Who's there for you? He says. Are you able to follow that? He said, Bharata is taking care of Kaushalya. I need not worry about my mother Kaushalya at all. Why? Because who's taking care? Bharata is taking care of Kaushalya. Who's there for you? I am here for you. And to whom? That is, wow. Yeah. Think of it. Yeah. Think of it, goosebumps. No? What a character it is. What a strength it is. Now, we want to keep ideals like that. Are you able to follow? All our ideals spring from that hierarchy, isn't it? Who can even think like that? Isn't it? Who can even say that? Should have gone to Kaushalya, no. Because Kaushalya is crying because Kaushalya lost her husband and she has lost her son also. So who's the greater loss? She should actually come to Kaushalya. But Rama has a different angle. Yeah. That's why he say Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. You are an embodiment of Dharma, Rama. So wherever he goes, he tells people, teach me Dharma. And people say, you are Dharma yourself. What are we going to teach you? Oh no, the Dharma Sukshma, no, it's so subtle. Are you able to follow? Now, as a spiritual person, we want our ideals to be, at that, like this. Therefore, by default, then what happens? Rama will not say, I'm tolerating Kaikeyi. Rama will not say, I'm practicing Titiksha. Rama will say, I love Kaikeyi. Are you able to follow? Titiksha is in the interim period. Rama will not say, I'm practicing Titiksha. Rama will say what? Rama will say, I love Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi? Yeah. What's the problem? Because the ideals that we set is so different. You can call it so high or you can call it so different. So therefore, what is it that we have to do in relation to the interim gap? Because from extroversion to introversion, there is a gap. From extroversion to introversion, there is a gap. And in English, there is a saying, the greatest battles are fought with the closest ones. You know that? The greatest battles are always fought with the closest ones. Closest ones are the same family only. Because with a stranger, you move away. But here you should not even move away. You can't even move away. We will not say I am stuck and all. We will not say. We will never use the word I am stuck. Yeah. Ungrateful is to say I am I'm stuck. Yeah. How ungrateful is to say, I'm stuck with my parents. How does a statement look? It looks so. Yeah. But today, that's the word now. What do we do? Yeah. How do you understand that? When I take, I didn't worry about the unpleasant personality trait in the other when I took. At that point of time, if it didn't matter, why is it mattering now? Actually, when it should have mattered. Actually, when it should matter. Yeah, that's why in this culture, carefully follow now, in this culture, when we take only when the other person says, Idanna mama. Idanna mama solli kudutada, you will take. Otherwise, you refuse to, you will not even touch it. Why? Because before taking, you should exercise the choice. After taking, after taking, keep serving. But irritating, sir. Yeah, irritating. Yeah. So here the mother's voice only is irritating, sir. Correct, no? Yeah. Aparna, correct, no? Mother's voice ketale, irritating it is. Yeah. What do we do now? Children, that's how children will behave like that. Am I also going to become another child and fight at that level? Yeah. In the building that I'm living is supposed to be a very highly, the building that I'm living is supposed to be very highly qualified, educated people. You go and look at the board, you see their titles and everything. They are like, oh my, where do you get a community like that? Huh? Even children will not fight like that. No, even children don't, because they will fight, but they will in 10 minutes they will reconcile and go away. These guys, oh God, nothing big there. Because nobody can do anything there. Yeah. Association fight. Inna fight. Tug of war first veganuma, lemon and spoon race first veganuma. Avladhan fight. That's all association can do. What an association can do? Lemon and spoon, tug of war. That group kept lemon and spoon. Now we will keep. Oh, they are. Oh God. Even children don't. Even have you ever observed? Children will fight and reconcile. They will not develop hatred. Adults will fight and they will have hatred continuously. Have you ever observed that? Children will fight. It's not that they will not fight, but they will reconcile. But hatred will not develop. When adults fight, they will pretend as though they have stopped fighting, but hatred will continue. That's how the children laugh at the adults. All children will laugh at the adults, and it's worth laughing at the adult. இதெல்லாம் ஒரு tell you welfare association பேர் தான் welfare association ஒரு welfare கிடையாது. See, minimum thing. No, minimum thing. You should come and see that place after an event happens. Chennai Central Station will be cleaner than that. Plates, paper cups, paper plates, all over. Nobody even. And you see, all the children are going and putting it in the bin. I stand there and observe that all the no adult will. Why? அவங்க கால்ல வந்து பெருக்கிடுவாங்க சார். Is that any? Does it make any sense? Are you able to follow? It doesn't make any sense to live life like this. the universal problem, the problem of introversion. I'm summarizing now. What is the problem of introversion? Extroversion means magnifying the faults of the others. Remember, we are using the word magnifying. We are not saying hallucinating. We are saying magnifying. Don't. Extroversion is magnifying the fault. Actually, we should replace the word fault with magnifying the unpleasant personality trait. Extroversion is, there are certain personality traits which will be unpleasant. Why it will be unpleasant? That's the guna proportion I am coming with. Are you able to follow? It is unpleasant because of my package of my guna proportion. Supposing if a person, there is a society that is coming with a lot of tamoguna package. You start cleaning, they will get very agitated. Why? Because cleanliness is a problem to them now. You run a persa clean பண்றாரு building, road போய் clean பண்ணுவாரா, station clean பண்ணுவாரா, country clean பண்ணுவாரா. Therefore keep the dirt as it is. Deepika, I said something so fast in Tamil, you would have understood what I said. Clear? That fellow will say, okay, I clean the compound. Oh, the street is dirty, the country is dirty, whole thing is dirty. Is he going to clean everything? Now, the Tamoguna will find a certain personality trait unpleasant. Sattva Guna will find some personality trait unpleasant. But nevertheless, all of us being this package, will have personality, unpleasant personality traits. Are you okay till now? Summary. In that, how do we decide to, what do we do in the interim period? Practice titiksha. And practicing titiksha is made that comfortable by knowledge. How does knowledge make titiksha comfortable? By bringing in gratitude. And by explaining gratitude in such a way that what you have received is not in comparison to what you give back. Isn't it? Here is a family, or here is a person who wants to study, and that person is not able to pay the fees. We help the person to pay the fees, and the person finishes the studies. Okay, let us say you paid 50,000 rupees. Interest oda thiri போட்டு குத்தா எவ்வளவு கொடுக்கணும்? Even if you give it as even if you put it as an interest and give it back 100,000 rupees, அதெல்லாம் கந்து வட்டின்னு பேரு இல்ல. 100,000 rupees interest எல்லாம் அவங்க சேர்த்து வாங்கினா. What should be that person's attitude towards you, towards the world? Even if I give 5 crores, 500 crores, the value of that 50,000 can never be matched. Yeah. Angadan, there's a very beautiful subtlety of a human being that is coming. Are you able to follow? That subtlety comes through knowledge and understanding. Therefore, what happens? From titiksha, after a period of time, we will drop the word titiksha and we will start using the word. We will not use the word titiksha. Titiksha is a temporary word. After a while, you should start using the word gratitude. After the word gratitude. Gratitude expresses itself as an affectionate action. Gratitude எப்படி manifest ஆகும்? Mechanical action எல்லாம் இருக்காது. Action backed by a tremendous affection. Action backed by tremendous bhavana, we say. In Sanskrit, we use the word bhava. Bhavana. Edu pannalu bhavana oda pannudhu. That bhava should come. No, what does that bhava means? Bhava means this. What? Huh? Gratitude. Bhava means gratitude. Action done with a action done with a pleasantness. Yeah, pleasantness. Chapati nalla varum. Chapati nalla varla. I say, yeah, எப்படி நல்லா வரும்? கரெக்டா? அவ்வளவுதான். Two weeks back, she made chapati and brought. I ate quarter chapati and I left the rest. Because I couldn't eat more than that. So I ate quarter chapati and I left. And 3 more visitors came for lunch. Yeah. I told them, முதல்ல இது சாப்பிட்டாதான் lunch I said. I'm just exaggerating. But I literally did that also. Let everybody enjoy the let everybody enjoy the gratitude. Prasad, no. Prasadam, no, it is. Yeah, it's a prasadam only. Are you able to follow the difference? Whatsoever is done, you do it with bhava. That bhava is what? Where do you get that bhava from? Bhava comes only through gratitude. And gratitude comes when you are trying to tally what I have received and what I have given back. What I have received versus what I have given back, அது டேலியே ஆகாது. அப்படின்னா பர்மனண்டா ஒரு சைடு எப்படி இருக்கும்? இம்பேலன்ஸாவே இருக்கும். எப்படி இம்பேலன்ஸா இருக்கும்னா, receipts you are as the, what is the imbalance? What is the imbalance? Your how much ever you have given, yeah, balance ஆகாது. That's why அப்பெல்லாம் I don't know. Englishல you are a debtorன்னு திட்டுவாங்களா தெரியல. தமிழ்ல கடங்காரன்னு திட்டுவாங்க. I don't know whether you get scolded in English like you are a debtor. Correct? Is there a word like that to scold in English? You are a debtor? Deepika, you are from London, England. She speaks like on English. I can't understand what she's talking also. And anything she say, I'll say yes. Because I can't even understand what she's talking. But she'll come with a weird English accent. I'm coming from a... Is there a word for when you get angry? Will you say? Even when we scold, we want to bring in philosophy in our culture. Another திட்டும்போது கூட we will scold the person as கடங்காரன் தான் திட்டுவாங்க. இல்ல பிச்சைக்காரன் திட்டவே மாட்டோம். You know that? We say, என்ன அப்படி திட்டுறதுல கூட even when you scold, even when you are angry, you should have that refinement in anger. Yeah. What is that refinement? திட்டும்போது கடங்காரன் திட்டும். Correct? That's how it works. It's a beautiful way of bringing in certain subtlety in a human being. Opposite of that is what? 1 or 2 personality traits which is uncomfortable to me, I blow it up, I magnify it and massacre that person because of that. Yeah. That 1 or 2 personality trait that I see which is uncomfortable to me, at which I make a kottu parota of. Yeah, I make the kottu parota of that person. Yeah, kottu parota, no? Musical sound it is, isn't it? Dang, 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 no, that hot iron plate and the 2 iron things they use and there's noise. Teeth and all will start sensitive now. You know, that can like that we make people. Why? Because the 1 or 2 personality traits that is uncomfortable to me, even though I have received a lot from them. Even though I have received a lot from them, that 1 or 2 traits makes it so irritating and frustrating. Are you able to follow? Is it okay? Amit, with your clarification, we'll conclude. What is your problem now? Anshu.
Just one quick question.
Throw Amit out for the classes for a few weeks. I've started hating him now. Yes, Amit. Now tell me what's your question.
Grounds for disassociation are extreme, like terrorist, rapist. What about adultery? Is that a ground for disassociation?
Yes, of course, yes.
That's-
Of course, yes. It is. It is. Adultery, rapist, terrorist, adultery. Of course, yes. Adharma, it is no. How can you play with the adultery? Is how can you accept it? It's not something that is. It is becoming a victim. No, isn't it? Weakness. It is no. See, some weaknesses are acceptable. Like when you are sensual at 15 is acceptable. At 60, adultery. How sick it is. How sick it is. Are you able to follow, Amit? See, at 15, it is natural for the boy to get attracted to the girl. It is natural for the girl to get attracted to the boy. It's understandable, correct? Are you able to follow till now? Now, that's not the law till the end of life. Just as to live on mother's milk is okay for a period of time. I am not working and living on my father's pension. How is it? I'm not doing any work, but sitting and living on my father's pension. How is it? Are you able to follow? See, these are all things that I look at the trait and I see whether do I have it in me and avoid it. Are you able to follow? First indicator, I see the trait in somebody. Then I immediately check, do I have the same? Do I have the same problem in me? Do I have the fault in me? Then I immediately change. Are you able to follow? So, living on parents is okay at one point of time. Imagine, I always give this example, no? At 53, if I complain, my father didn't leave any estate behind. How ungrateful it is. 53 வயசுல எங்க அப்பா சொத்தே விட்டு போல சார். ஒன்னு இல்லாம செத்து போயிட்டாருன்னா, how ungrateful, how ungrateful it is. See, why do we say all that is a problem? It's not a moral ethical value. Please understand, it's not a moral ethical value. This has a consequence. This way of life has a consequence, and that consequence is agitation, frustration, stress, worry, etc. Are you able to follow? We are not calling it as a moral ethical dilemma. It's not a moral dilemma or ethical dilemma. This way of selfishness has a consequence. What is the consequence now? We are working backwards. What are we working backwards? We are working backwards from the standpoint of frustration, agitation, stress, and strain. Having working backwards from the angle of stress and strain and worry and anxiety, when we come back and ask what to do, Vedanta says, look into yourself. You have violated some. Look into yourself. You have violated some. You have violated a law. Gratitude is not a moral virtue. Gratitude is a law. Gratitude and its consequences is a law. Ingratitude and its consequences is a law. It's not a moral value. See, today we have misunderstood it as a moral ethical value, as though it's like a decoration. Yeah. Dharma is not like Starbucks coffee la heart podra madri, isn't it? Yeah, Dharma is not like that. No, you go to Starbucks, they'll give coffee. And the coffee la oru heart போட்டு கொடுப்போம். Coffee taste க்கும் heart க்கும் absolutely no connection. But even without the heart, coffee must be good. அவ்வளவுதான். Coffee now, ethical moral principle is not like that. Are able to follow? Gratitude is a law. Therefore, what is the consequence of ingratitude? A consequence. What is the consequence of gratitude? A consequence. Now you work backwards. Whenever you are experiencing the consequence of frustration, agitation, stress, strain, irritation, extroversion will tell you world is the problem. Introversion will tell you, extroversion will tell you world is the problem. Introversion will tell you You are the problem. Your likes and dislikes, your ingratitude, your ego is the problem. Now we have two answers. Clear? Now we have two answers. No சொல்ல முடியும். Yatha Ishchasi. Now that you have learned to both, do as you do what you feel like. Amit, are you able to follow? Therefore, all these acts which are selfish by nature makes it wrong. See, rape is selfish, is gross by nature. No. Adultery is gross by nature. No selfishness. No. It is a selfishness that is backing it, makes it wrong. Therefore, actually, what is wrong there? Selfishness. Unmindful to the pain that I am going to cause to the other. Unmindful to the pain to the other. My gratification. Correct? Isn't it? What makes it wrong? My gratification, unmindful of the pain that is going to be caused to the other, that selfishness is a problem. Therefore, we say avoid it. Are you able to follow? Yeah. Naturally, a dharmic person will not do all these things. Naturally, an unselfish person will not do all these things. Why? Because they are so careful not to cause pain. Why you don't want to cause pain to another? Why you don't want to cause pain to another? You all see as one. There is the oneness, that love. Are you able to follow? You see them as one. Because you see them as one, you don't want to do something that will cause pain to the other. Therefore, to love, you have to be very unselfish. All these acts that we talk about is nothing but an expression of selfishness. Law itself will punish you. Forget about law of karma, naraka law. Human-made law itself will punish you. Why? Because you have no right, we have no thing to interfere with the. For my gratification, I don't mind causing pain to other. My joy is important. My joy is important. Most of the time, people are so unaware that they don't even realize that there is other. Yeah. Most of the time, we don't even realize that there is another. Other means other live being has their own. Another live being has their own things. You follow? That's why we say the worst thing is what? That's why maximum punishment is given to those when they grow high in hierarchy. You know that, no? With this, I conclude. Maximum punishment is given to those when they grow higher and mela poga, punishments will be severe. Yeah, punishment will be severe, isn't it? Yeah. அதனால தான் spiritual gurus for the maximum punishment. You know, I get very, as long as, see, in this classroom, I'm very free talking. Why I'm very free talking in a classroom? Because I have developed a conviction. What is a conviction? Nobody is going to take it seriously and follow anything. Yeah, that conviction. Yeah, that conviction. Somebody trust. Genuinely, I'm saying, if somebody trusts and they come and say, now what to do? I get so scared. Because what a responsibility it is when somebody is saying, I'm trusting you. Tell me what a responsibility it is. How careful that person has to be. Why? Because one slip you make, punishment is that's why in the Manusmriti they talk about punishments. Punishment பத்தி பேசும்போது மனுஸ்மிருதியில what is the punishment for stealing? Question. For which Manu gives an answer. Tell me who has stolen. Tell me who has stolen. Then I will tell you what the punishment is. No. Generally, அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. No. Generally tell me what is the punishment. No. You cannot say like that. Who the person is, punishment is accordingly. That's why they say highest caliber person, supposing Brahmana. In those days, Brahmana meant very Brahmana meant differently. Not in the way that we have misunderstood it now. If a Brahmana steals, what is the punishment for him? They say cut the opposite limbs. Cut the opposite limbs. That fellow, he will not die. He will die. He will not die, nor can he walk, nor can he sit. Why? At that level, it should not happen. Are you able to follow? Understanding how the law of karma operates, they devise this. All this law are made based on the understanding of how law of karma will operate. How do they know that? That's why they are called Rishi. Rishika also, huh? Rishika also. Yeah. Rishi na masculine, Rishika na feminine. They are called Rishi. Rishi na seer. Who can see? They can see. In the violation, in the law of karma, in the law, if you do this, this is the consequence. If you do this, this is the consequence. If you do this, this is the consequence. To forgiveness. இவ்வளோ ப்ராப்ளமேட்டிக்கான ஒரு லைஃப் வேணுமா? லைஃப்ல இப்படிலாம் பார்த்தா no joy at all. No. You can bring in joy. You can bring joy and bliss into this life. How? Correct. Gratitude. Same life, it seems to be consequences, fear, punishment, naraga, appa, addi, vada, aluga, eppo paathalum. No. There is another way also. What is another way? Whistling, dancing, music. How does that come? Gratitude. With this, we conclude for